everybody. Hope you
End of weekend.
end of weekend. Yeah, hopefully it's the end of the weekend, but who knows? Um, I hope you had a nice break. April and I, we're so blessed. We had a great time at the beach, and that's our favorite place other than playing pickleball, it's the beach. So we had a great time, but the batteries are recharged, and we had an opportunity to talk about this cruise that was leaked out by mistake. Man, did I give Skylar heck on it. I was going back and forth with him quite a bit over the last 4 days, and I was just giving it to him. So I think he might have got scolded a little bit, but you know what? It's out. Okay. We knew there was an incentive trip coming that they were going to announce on July 20th, but we didn't know what kind of trip. We didn't know how long we'd have to qualify. We didn't know where we were going. We didn't know any of that. So we still don't know where we're going, but we know it's a cruise.
Yeah.
And let me ask you a question, and if some of you don't mind, I'd love to see your faces, but if you've ever been on a cruise and had a good time, would you just wave your hands? Would you just kind of wave? I'm telling you, it's hard to beat seeing the world by cruise. Okay. It's hard to beat it. I'm not saying there may not be better ways to do it, but we had the opportunity in our first company to travel the world by cruise. And their whole motto, their whole philosophy was, build a business with us and we'll show you the world. And every year the trip was a cruise. We knew that it was a cruise. What they did is it was a luxury cruise, and a lot of times we had penthouses and butlers and calling on us. It wasn't just an inner cabin in a cruise ship. It was pretty special stuff, but we do know LifeVantage, the next trip is a cruise. Okay. And I'm going to go through some slides with you, but we've been on every trip that LifeVantage has offered since we joined. And obviously we went on 22 cruises in our other company, and there were, qualifying periods for that. What I want you to know is what we're about to show you is designed, and it's the most attainable and the fairest qualifications that we've ever seen in the 30 years that we've been in the industry. This cruise, okay. Now, again, we don't know where we're going. We don't know if we're going to Alaska. We don't know if we're going to Europe. We don't know if we're going to the Caribbean. We don't know where we're going. But when you're on a cruise ship and the weather's good, it really don't matter. It just doesn't matter. And the only thing we want to happen, I could care less where we go. We just want to do it with you. Okay. We want to take the cruise with you. Okay. That's the whole point. It's the time and the camaraderie and the hanging out and the strategizing and the fun and the bonding that goes on. That's why cruises are so good. Yeah, we can all meet in Kansas City at an event. We can all meet somewhere. But when you're out in the middle of the ocean, you can't go nowhere. Okay. We're all on the same ship, and it's the camaraderie that develops is phenomenal. So anyway, I hope you're as excited about it as we are. But as I go through some of this tonight, okay, the most important thing you could do is be taking some notes. Make sure you got a notepad, make sure you got a pen, make sure you're jotting some stuff down, because the reason why we're doing this tonight, and we're recording this for those that are still away for 4th of July and just couldn't be on tonight, or still have some family in town or whatever, or on their way back. But the reason why we wanted to do it right away is because we have a chance to get a head start in July by getting double the amount of points on what we do in July as compared to the other, the other 8 months that we'll have to qualify. So, and you'll see on some slides in a second, the qualification for the trip is July to March of next year. Okay, there's a 9-month window to qualify. And then I believe, what they say, the trip was in August, something like that. I think
August
trip
9th through the 16th, which is the longest trip I think they've ever taken
they've
us
ever
on.
done.
Yeah.
Ireland was a week or 7 or
That's
8
true.
days.
Yeah.
And Croatia was too. So, but you know, it's a full week, and you know, so we have 9 months, folks, and for those that get off to a slow start, you're going to have time to make up for it. Okay, but what we want is everyone to have the opportunity to get on, okay, the ship, and work with your people to get on. And I'm going to start by going through how we do that. And we'll open it up for questions later, but I want to prepare you. There's going to be questions over the first month or two of doing this, okay? So don't feel like you got to understand every detail of it tonight. The only detail that you really need to understand is the faster and more often that you and your team can be enrolling people and earning tracks, then the faster everybody can get on the boat, okay, or ship, whatever you want to call it, the cruise. Now, many of you have been on a number of cruises, but you have to understand the people that are qualifying for the cruise are building their business and they're earning money. And it's just a reward for building your business, which honestly, we should be doing anyway. Okay, but it's so fair. The biggest advantage is the new person. And they had never done that before. Okay, the trips had always been designed for the kind of, I don't know, Pro 5 and above. You know, if you remember the old Pro, they were kind of designed that way. That meant people that were already doing 20,000 a month in business. It just seemed like the trips were meant for those people to make it. And as we go through this tonight, the biggest advantage is the brand new person, because they haven't even talked to the people they know yet. And they're going to get to count all their rank advancements, and they get to work their whole warm market. So it's as fair as anything I've ever seen. So let me bring up the slides. And I do apologize in the fact that, actually, where did my slides go? April, just take over for a second while I'm looking for my slides.
I actually, I mapped out how everyone can do it at different levels, but like Bobby's talking about, he's going to go through the rules and stuff. But one of the things you should have, and make sure if you don't have and you don't know where you are, make sure you get your chart out if you're not sure where you are. So if you're not sure, but I took an SC1 who is doing 2,000 in business, you know, just 2,000 already, SC1, because you have to be SC1 to be able to go on this. So somebody that's got a business that's just doing 2,000, and they're going to go to SC2, which is 3,500. Okay, maybe you even want to write this down so you can visualize this and put this for your new people that are coming along. So a business that's doing 2,000, SC1, that's going to go to SC2, which is 3,500. Okay, so what they've broken down is for the month that you rank advance, you get 30 points. The next month you maintain it, you get 15. You maintain it a second month, you get 30. So I wrote in a big circle, that's 75 points right there. Okay, we're trying to go for 300. So this is the bottom basic one. All right, so you've got 75 there. You need to have 3 enrollment tracks, which means you need to have one consultant who does at least 150, or 750 is that track. So the same as the way we were doing before, one consultant and customers, whatever, has to total 750, with one consultant being 150. You need to have 3 tracks. So, and we get 10 points for each track. So that's 30 points. Okay, so we've got 75 and 30 is 105. Then what happens, let's say we mentor one person. We're going to mentor one person to do the 2000 SC1. We're going to bring them up to SC1. For being a mentor, for personally enrolling that person, you're going to get 10 points the first month they do it, 5 the next, and then 10 the following month. So that's another 25 points there. Okay. Then you're going to go from SE2 to SE3. So you're going to go from 3,500 to 6,000. Okay. Again, big business. 6,500 is what you're doing. If you do that for the 3 months, you pick up another 100 points. So it's 40 the first month you do it, 20 the second month you maintain, and another 40 for that third month. Okay. So that's another 100 points. The thing that I think we're going to miss and really important and pay attention to is we get 10 points for every time you have, what do they call them? I don't want to call it maintenance, but the track that is doing 500. Every time your business grows by 500 points, we get another 10 points towards the trip. So going between 35 and 6,000, that's 5 times. That's another 50 points. You're already 310 points. Okay, so that's somebody just starting with a business that's doing 2,000 a month, going to 6,000 a month. And I mean, we can teach that to new people over and over again because we have 9 months to do that. So again, and I did it with, I'm trying to think, I went through a lot of people in our business, but people MC2 to MC3s, I did it with an MC1 to MC2. So I did some different ranks there. But it's really, really doable for everyone to be on. But you got to look at your numbers. You got to write down, where are you? Where are you going? What do you have to do? Again, put all those things. Who can you mentor? Who can you get points from there? Map out who's in your organization. So, we can do maybe another one after Bobby goes through his slides, because he'll kind of fill in all the pieces that I just said. But this is very, very doable if you map it out. And I feel like this is the fairest of all the trips that we've had so far. Bobby?
Absolutely. And sorry for the slow slides, folks. I had even tested it before, but so again, the reason they do incentive trips, and this one, like I said, happens to be a cruise, is so that we build our business and we increase our overall volume and we increase our earnings. So the 3 things that we do in order to build our business is we enroll people, okay, as customers and consultants. You don't only enroll them, but you have to retain them. That means they continue month after month. And one of the requirements is that everybody needs to have a monthly subscription. And it don't need to be for collagen. It don't need to be for a big amount. It could just be for an NRF2, pro tandem. But it's in the fine print that you're going to see that everybody has to be on subscription to be eligible for the trip. Okay, so make sure in July that you have a subscription and leave it alone for 9 months. Just don't mess with it. Okay, and then you never have to worry about that qualification. And then besides enrolling and retaining, okay, business that you get first started, you earn by helping yourself and others advance in the program. Okay, so those are what we're going to be talking about. So the qualifications, okay, begin July 1st. This month, they started, a week ago, and everything that's in now counts, okay, to March 31st of 2025. So we have a 9-month window, and the markets that are participating in this particular incentive trip, all of the countries around the world, the 22 countries, they have an incentive trip going on. It's broken down for different markets. So the United States, Canada, Mexico, Europe, and England or Great Britain, okay? They are participating in this contest, okay, for the trip. So what do we need to get on the ship, okay? For 2 people to get on the ship, we need 300 points, okay? in our business, or, you know, if there's a BC2, it's one or the other. You can't add them together, but we need 300 points. Okay. By the end of the period, okay, we need to maintain being paid at the rank of SC1. Now, obviously, if you're not at SC1 at this particular point, okay, from the point that you hit it and beyond is what, you know, is what that's all about. So we need to earn at least 3 enrollment tracks. Okay, what's a track? A track is 750 points in 1 month, an enrollment track. Okay, that means you brought in customers or consultants that added up combined to at least 750 points. The key in this is at least one needs to be a consultant, and that consultant needs to have done at least 150 of those points. Okay. And then we need 3 retainment tracks. Well, what does that mean? We retained and increased our volume by 500 points. We need to do that 3 times over the course of the 9 months. Okay. And we're not allowed to drop back, okay, more than 1 rank or during the qualification period. So these are very basic things. And we have been talking to you about this on Sunday nights for a while now, but we obviously, with a 9-month run on this, we're going to be updating you weekly. Every training is not going to be about the incentive trip moving forward, but we're going to make sure you know what you need to know, you know, when it comes down to it. So the question is, where are you starting at? Now, I said the new people that have gotten involved recently, they have the biggest advantage because they have a lot of ranks they can go through and earn themselves a lot of points in those new ranks in the beginning, those first 4 or 5 ranks. Okay, so, but your initial baseline rank is whatever your highest rank was during the last 6 months, okay, December through June. Whatever your highest rank was, that is your starting point. That's your baseline, okay? And if your paid as rank that I was just talking about increases during this promotional period, this next 9 months, that new baseline rank will reset and become your highest paid rank during the rest of the promotional period. Okay, so again, these things we'll monitor, keep an eye on, and we will simplify this to the best of our ability. But there is 3 tiers. Okay, the 300 points is tier 1, and that gets your cruise for 2. Okay, tier 2 is 400 points. That's the cruise for 2 and a $750 flight voucher or flight credit for, I guess, flying to get on the ship, wherever that might be. It's $1,000 for international. Again, we don't know where it is yet, but that's what it is. And tier 3 is 500 points, and that's the cruise for 2 and $1,500 towards airfare. Okay, wherever that'll be. And by the way, we will know where that will be on July 20th. And, you know, as we get further in tonight, we will talk a little bit about July 20th. That's a big day. Okay, so the qualifications, and April was going through this a little bit, but, you know, I like to put the numbers to it, and this is everybody on the call. Okay, there's nobody on the call that is at a higher rank. April and I are at EC2, but for what we're talking about, nobody is everybody's falling into this category. And if they're new, they're working towards this. Okay. So when we talk about SC1, that means a business that's got $2,000 in business going on monthly. You know, SC2, 3,500 monthly, SC3, 6,000 monthly, MC1, 10,000, MC2, 20, MC3, 40, and EC1, 80. So some of the ways that we get points, okay, and if you were on the call last week, you saw this, but going to go a little slower. Skylar did the whole thing in 5 minutes. Okay, the month you advance to that number for the first time, and April just said this, you earn 20 points. You maintain it the next month, you get another 10. You maintain it the month after that, you get another 20. So just by hitting SC1, you can get 50 points, hitting it and keeping it for 2 months. Okay. By hitting SC2, 3,500, you can get 30 points and 15 and another 30. Well, guess what? That adds on to the first 50. So you got 50 up here at SC1. Now you can add another 75 here. That's 125 points for getting to 3,500. Okay, you go to SC3, that's 6,000 in business. It's 40, 20, and 40. That's another 100. And this is what April was just talking about. Okay, that's 175 and 50. You know, you're at 2.25 there, right? Just by doing that. You know, every time you go up, if you go to 10,000, it's 50, 25, and 50. That's another 125. Do you know that puts you right about at the 400? And that would be, you know, airfare and cruise for 2. So this is what you get when you advance. Okay, this is when you do it. So you look at whatever you are right now. Okay, if you're a SC3, if you're an MC1, wherever you are, whatever your highest one was in the last 6 or 7 months, that is your baseline. That's your starting point. Okay. So if you're an MC1, okay, and there's a number of MC1s on the call tonight, okay, and your baseline starts here by going from MC1 to MC2. You're going to go 60, 30, and 60. You're talking about 150 points from going from MC1 to MC2. Are you getting it? Okay. This is only one way we get points, by advancing, getting yourself to advance. Okay. Now, what else can we do? Well, to help our teammates do it. So what you want to do is, if you have a team, you want to go into your back office, you want to go to your detailed genealogy, and you want to pull up everyone that's frontline to you, every consultant that you personally enrolled. Okay. And those are the people, plus the new ones that you add on over the next 9 months. But those are the ones that you can earn a mentor bonus off of. Okay. So I'll give you a simple one. We'll take, so if April sponsored Kenneth, okay, and Kenneth is an MC3 and goes to EC1, okay, well, obviously Kenneth gets the prior points we were talking about for hitting EC1. He gets 80 and 40 and 125. He's getting like 245 points there. But for helping him do it, okay, we can pick up 40, 20, and 40. We could get 100 points for helping somebody advance to an EC1 if we enrolled them, okay? So you look at what you got on your team, and as they hit SC1 and above, okay, if you enrolled them, you're entitled to mentor points. So this is the second way, okay, that we earn money. Not money. Well, we do earn money when we do this, but this is the second way we earn points towards the cruise. Now, the easiest one, okay, and there's no limit, these are the enrollment tracks, okay? So this is for the brand new person and the person that's been in the longest. This is for everybody. Every time you do 750 in volume, you earn a track. Okay, that's where the track comes from. That's called an enrollment track. If you do 750 in business, okay, as long as at least 150 came from a new consultant, you get 10 points for every time you do that. And if you look at the very bottom, they are allowing us to earn up to 450 points just from enrollments. So for those of you saying, well, Bobby, I don't have a team yet, or I just got started, this is for you. Okay. And then there's the retainment track. So in the beginning, when April was talking about that, as we increase our subscription volume, this isn't organizational volume, okay? This is subscription volume. As we increase our subscription volume by 500, so what is that like? Well, let's say I'm Onyx right now. I take it to Emerald. That's 500. Okay. So whatever the subscription is, you're going to see what your baseline number is, because that's everybody that you've enrolled that adds up to a number. And when you add 500 to that number, so it's not just you adding the points, it's you and the 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 consultants, whatever number you got, and helping get that subscription volume number up by 500. Every time it goes up 500, you get another 10 points. And there's no limit unless you get up to 450 points. So that's awesome. Okay. And if you're new and this is not making complete sense, we'll talk about it, you know, in the coming days. But this is so fair and so doable for everybody that's in the business. But here's the kicker. They want everyone to get off to a fast start. So instead of earning 10 points on the enrollment tracks in July, they're going to pay 20, and there's no limit. There's no limit. Okay. That's all there is to it. There's no limit. So if you get one track, it's 20. You get two, it's 40. You get three, it's 60. You get five, it's 100. You really have a great opportunity this month, the next 4 weeks or so, what's left in July. You have a tremendous opportunity to get a running start with points by getting after it now. And it doesn't matter how those 750 volume points come in, as long it could be 10 customers and one consultant. As long as the consultant has at least 150 points in their name, okay, it could be one order. It could be a customer that buys $500, 600 points worth of product, as long as there's also a consultant in there. But you want to know an instant one? If you signed up a consultant to a business pack, okay, that's the $9.99 pack, okay, you get a track for signing up that one person, just because that's worth 850 points. Okay, so it's really neat how this works. It's very fair how it works. Let me stop the share here. And April, I want to go back to you. Is there anything you want to add to that? Because there's some things I want to talk about in regards to the, you know, the 20th and stuff like that.
No, I think everybody needs to look at how they can rank advance. And if you're stuck between one of the bigger 20 and 40 or whatever, I did it without even rank advancing. So you can figure this out every which way, and not even based on huge amount of enrollments and stuff. So yeah, there's a whole lot of ways to be able to do this. It's kind of fun to figure out, but you really need to figure out what you're going to do with it and stuff.
Look, 9 months, if you divide, you know, 300 by 9, you're at, you know, something like 33, 34 points a month, you know. And what I always look at is you never want to get less than that. That way, the months when you get more than that, you're giving yourself a cushion, okay, for a month where you're off a little bit, or you're giving yourself the opportunity to hit 400 or 500, okay, and get the cash to go with the cruise, okay? So it is, I'm telling you, this is what we want everyone on here and all your teams on the ship. We're expecting over 1,000 people to be on that ship. I would be surprised if they just didn't get the whole ship. You know, just get the ship for the trip, you know, for LifeVantage. I mean, that's the mentality that we're looking at this as far as moving forward. So I only want to take a few more minutes with you to go over a couple other things, but look at your highest rank when this call is over, whatever your highest rank was, and look at, now keep in mind with tracking this, we will have a tracker on July 20th that you will be able to watch and see where you are with the company. You don't have to track this yourself. Okay. This is not, I got to track it myself. It's not like that. Okay. There will be a tracker in the back office tracking what is going on in your business and what you need to do to hit. Okay. When you get a little confused with it or you're not sure what's next, well, the what's next is always be working towards an enrollment track and a retainment track, and you'll never get lost with this. I mean, but we're going to be watching too, and we're going to be having every, looking and following it as closely as we can. And there's some great leaders on here that's going to be looking at their downlines and teams and making sure. But I just, I want you to start with a clean slate. I want you to have an attitude that says, that ship is not leaving without me. April and I always had this attitude when we got involved and we heard there were incentives. And even with our old company, we always said, if they're paying, we're going. That was it. Okay. That was always our mentality. When they said Ireland or Croatia or the Dominican Republic or whatever, now it's South Africa and it's Park City. And if they're paying, we always said we're going. Don't let that ship leave without you. And better yet, don't let it leave without you and your teammates. Okay. It's really cool when you make it yourself, but it's really so much better when you have a team with you. Okay. And there's going to be people, I promise you, that will either be on the cruise this month when July is over, they'll already be on it, okay, or by next month. And we're going to see people joining the business in November, December, and January that are going to do enough to be on it by March. That's how doable it is. There's people that are not even in the business yet that are going to be on that boat. They haven't even joined yet. So that's really, really exciting. It's really fair. But let me just share a couple other things with you, and then we'll call it a night. I will get to recognition next week. That normally would have been tonight, but I just want to say congratulations. We had 6 diamonds in our team, on our team last month. Kenneth is always 4 or 5-time diamond, and he leads the way again. The Wagners, April and I. Goulet, who's over in Europe, Jaya, and Dr. Barnhouse is one of our guys in Kansas City, all diamonds, okay, and Catalina and Goulet were less than 200 points from double diamond. So they're close, okay, that's that hurts, but a couple more points and they're there. But anyway, I want to say congratulations to that. And then July 20th, and for those of you that are new or don't know, you have 2 options for July 20th. That is our corporate virtual event. That will be the company sharing everything that's going to go on through the end of the year. They always throw in some surprises. So this incentive trip was supposed to be a surprise, but Skylar told us it was a cruise, so be it. We now know that it's a cruise. But register for that Zoom if you haven't already. It is free. And I want to encourage you, do not watch it alone. Okay. If you're new, invite some friends over to watch it with you. If there's a watch party going on within an hour or 2 of where you live, join the watch party. Okay, either have one or go to one, or if you're new, invite a few friends over to see what cool business you just got started in and do that. But you gotta register for it. And again, it's free, but you gotta register. So, and you can get that information in the hub.lifevantage.com. You can get that there. We will be in Chicago, April and I, with the Chicago group. And we're hoping to we're expecting to have a big turnout there and have some fun kicking things off up there. So we'll be there on the 20th. Anything else, April?
No, they asked everybody to update the big blue calendar for locations of these launch parties. So everyone should look there. If you're not going to one, maybe there's something going on. If you need help being introduced.
There may be something close
Yeah.
to you that you don't even know about.
Yeah,
And
So-
that's on the hub too, right? The big
that's on the
blue.
hub. But
Okay.
they asked all the elites to make where they're doing their launch party. So there should be quite a few, and it takes them a few days since we've not been working the last few days. Corporate will probably do it Monday, Tuesday. It'll be updated. So maybe for Wednesday, write in your calendar, check the big blue calendar if you're looking for a place to visit for that launch party.
Any questions? Any comments? I know it's a lot of information, but it all adds up. There will be an electronic tracker in your back office monitoring where you are at all times. So you don't have to do this, you don't have to keep a paper, count of things or anything like that. This will all be counted. What we want to see everyone do is just get off to a fast start in July and get some double points to give yourself a cushion over the next 8 months to follow. Okay. And, and we'll just go from there. So we will know on the 20th where we're going, but keep in mind, this is how if you want to build your business big and fast, get a lot of people working towards being on the ship. And your business will run through the ranks faster than you can count. Okay, that was the way we competed in our old company on who was doing the best. It was never our checks. Honestly, it wasn't. It was how many people you got to attend events, how many people you got on the ship. That was how we monitored, because it was never about the one. It was always about the many. And the way we competed was, well, I had 20. Well, I had 26. Well, I had 30. Well, I had 40. And that was the way everybody competed, was kind of like, who cares if you're on? How many did you take with you? Okay, then, and I love that mentality. So we're going to adopt that here too. But anyone got anything they want to share? Thoughts, questions? Are your brains fried? That's from too much alcohol the last 4 days. I know that. No, we're in the health and wellness business. We don't do that. Okay.
Don't,
Alex, you got something to contribute?
I was just trying to be funny. Sorry.
Oh, I figured that. That's why I called Alex and I didn't even see you. So
Yeah.
But that does look like a nice pool picture. Anyone got anything they want to share? Digest this.
I'll jump in if it's all right.
Go ahead,
Bob.
please. Please.
Yeah, so it's up here in Canada, and we're super excited with this trip. We've qualified for a couple, over the years, and but just they're bringing this, as to echo everything Bob and April just said, bringing this to where everybody can qualify, the brand new people, and we're just super excited. And I want to shout out just on our team, we had 9 onyx and 2 emeralds, or no, 4 emeralds. And some of them were new. So
Awesome. That is the best.
Very good.
yeah. So that's we're just excited. And with Independence Day just happening and reflecting on what the founders did and just how this country was founded. And when I say this country, I mean United States, and we kind of ride on those coattails of this Constitution. But to be in free enterprise and to have the opportunity to be a freedom fighter in a different way without actually carrying a gun, and but it's just as it's important to help people get economic freedom and have a community. And so we're we're fired up, but I'm just hoping everybody else is as well. And Bob and April, thank you for your leadership and just dissecting this so that we can understand it. So thank you so much.
Well, entrepreneurship leads to some of the greatest friends and relationships you'll ever have in your life. That thread that runs between all of us is one of the coolest threads that could ever run through you, is that spirit of being an entrepreneur and self-employed or a business owner, or and that includes anyone that's working for commissions, bonuses, anything like that. That entrepreneurial spirit is just priceless. So anyway, let's get a head start, folks. Let's get after it. We have a whole month ahead of us. I'll tell you, we do have, I don't think there's going to be anything new to update on, update you on, but we have our executive Zoom with corporate tomorrow. And if they happen to add anything to it, we'll get it out to you right away. Okay. So anyway, have a great night. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you greatly. Bye-bye. And happy 4th again. I hope it was a great time for you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Bob. Bye bye.